There is a beautiful moment in the Bible when a child is promised before anyone else can see it. In the book of 1 Samuel, a woman named Hannah prayed with tears because she longed for a child. Year after year, she carried that silent hope. People around her could not see the promise yet, but heaven had already heard her prayer. And one day, the answer came. The Bible says in 1 Samuel, "For this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my petition." Now listen carefully, because this message may not be random. Very soon, a baby girl may enter your life, and there is a sign that quietly confirms it. If you feel something stirring in your spirit right now, stay with me until the end, because later in this message, I will share the deeper reason why this little girl's arrival may carry a spiritual meaning that many people overlook. Before we continue, take a second to subscribe to this channel if you feel drawn to messages of faith, wisdom, and spiritual guidance. Like this video and write "I receive this blessing" in the comments if this message speaks to your heart. Sometimes the act of declaring hope opens a door in the spirit. Now let's talk about the message itself. Not every blessing in life arrives loudly. Some blessings arrive softly, quietly, almost like a whisper from heaven. A baby girl entering your life is not only about a child. Sometimes it is about restoration. Sometimes it is about healing. And sometimes it is about a new chapter that God has already written long before you realized it. There are moments when the soul senses something before the mind understands it. You may have noticed small signs recently. Perhaps you keep seeing little girls in unexpected places. Maybe you heard someone talk about daughters several times in the same week. Maybe a dream placed a child in your arms. Or maybe a feeling of tenderness and protection suddenly awakened in your heart. These things may seem small, but in the language of the Spirit, small signals often come before great changes. A baby girl represents something powerful. She represents gentleness entering a place that once held pain. She represents new laughter entering a space that once felt silent. And she represents the continuation of a story that heaven is still writing. Many people believe that blessings only come after everything in life is perfect, but that is rarely how God works. Often, a blessing arrives right in the middle of uncertainty, right in the middle of waiting, right in the middle of a season where you are beginning to wonder if things would ever change. And suddenly, something small appears that shifts everything. A child has a mysterious way of doing that. A baby girl carries a unique kind of light. She brings softness where there was once hardness. She brings curiosity where there was once routine. She reminds people how to love again without conditions. And sometimes, her presence heals wounds that no conversation could ever reach. Think about the people in your life right now. There may be someone close to you whose life is quietly preparing for this blessing. Or perhaps this child will come directly into your own family. Either way, the message is not only about the child herself. It is about what she represents. Because every life that enters the world carries a purpose, and sometimes that purpose is connected to the healing of others. You may have walked through seasons that felt heavy, moments where you had to be strong longer than you expected, moments where hope felt distant. But life has a way of circling back with unexpected grace. The arrival of a child often marks the beginning of that grace. There is something else important to understand. Sometimes the blessing is not only physical. Sometimes it is symbolic. A baby girl can represent the birth of a new version of your life, a softer chapter, a gentler path, a future where the things that once hurt you begin to lose their power. God often sends signs before a transformation begins, not to confuse you, but to prepare your heart, because when something beautiful is about to arrive, your spirit needs time to open itself to receive it. If a baby girl truly enters your life soon, she may bring more than smiles and laughter. She may bring healing between people who once struggled to understand each other. She may bring unity into a family that once felt divided. She may even awaken a deeper sense of love inside you that you never realized was waiting there. Children have a way of revealing the best parts of the human heart. They remind us of innocence. They remind us that life is still full of beginnings. And they remind us that hope never truly disappears. Sometimes we simply forget how to see it. Take a moment and think about your own journey. Think about the lessons you have learned. Think about the moments that shaped who you are today. Everything you have experienced may have been preparing you for the next chapter. Even the difficult seasons, even the moments that felt confusing. Because when a new life enters the world, it does not arrive randomly. It arrives at the exact moment it is meant to. And sometimes the people who are meant to guide that life have already been quietly prepared by their own experiences. So if this message found you today, consider the possibility that it arrived for a reason. Maybe your heart needed to hear something hopeful. Maybe you needed a reminder that beautiful things can still appear when you least expect them. Or maybe heaven simply wanted you to pause and recognize the signs around you. There is a deeper truth hidden inside this message. Girl does not only represent the future. She represents renewal. The renewal of joy. The renewal of patience. The renewal of love. When a child enters a life, priorities change. Small moments become meaningful. Ordinary days become memories. And suddenly, the future feels brighter than it did before. That is why many spiritual traditions see children as living reminders of divine grace. They carry a purity that reconnects people with faith. They remind us that miracles are not always dramatic. Sometimes miracles arrive wrapped in something small and gentle, like the quiet cry of a newborn. If you sense that this message is meant for you, do not rush past that feeling. Sit with it for a moment. Ask yourself what your heart is telling you. Faith is not always about knowing every detail. Sometimes, faith is simply about being open to what might be coming. You may not yet see the full picture, but that does not mean the picture is not already being painted. God often works behind the scenes, quietly arranging moments, quietly guiding paths, quietly preparing hearts for the blessings they are about to receive. And when the right moment comes, everything begins to make sense. A child's laughter can transform a home. A child's smile can soften even the most guarded heart. And a child's presence can remind someone why they kept going during difficult times. If a baby girl truly enters your life soon, she may not only need your love. You may also discover that you needed her presence just as much. Because sometimes the greatest blessings are the ones that change us from the inside. They reshape our perspective. They heal invisible wounds. They remind us that life is not finished surprising us. So do not ignore the quiet signs around you. Pay attention to the small moments. Pay attention to the gentle
Feelings in your spirit. Sometimes those feelings are whispers from heaven.
whispers telling you that something beautiful is approaching. Before we close, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a slow breath and allow this thought to settle in your heart. The future is still unfolding. The story of your life is still being written. And somewhere ahead, there may be a small soul preparing to enter your world. A baby girl whose presence may bring more light than you can imagine right now. If this message resonated with you, write in the comments, "May this blessing arrive at the right time." Because sometimes sharing hope allows it to grow stronger. And now, let's end with a simple affirmation. May your life welcome every blessing that heaven has prepared for you. May your heart remain open to joy, even in unexpected forms. May the love meant for you arrive gently and at the perfect moment. And if a child is meant to enter your life soon, may she be surrounded by peace, protection, and endless love. Trust the timing. Trust the journey. And remember that some of the most beautiful chapters of life begin quietly before anyone realizes they have already started. Sometimes, the most powerful signs in life appear when we are not actively searching for them. You might simply be living your normal days, working, thinking about your future, trying to make sense of the path in front of you, and then, slowly, something begins to change inside your spirit, a feeling that something gentle is approaching, a feeling that life is preparing a gift that cannot be forced or rushed. Many people ignore these quiet signals, but those who listen carefully often discover that their intuition was guiding them toward a meaningful moment. A baby girl entering your life is not just an event. It is a shift in energy. It is the arrival of innocence in a world that sometimes feels heavy. It is a reminder that tenderness still has a place in our lives. And when heaven sends a new soul into the world, it is never by accident. Every child carries a purpose written long before their first breath. Sometimes that purpose is to unite hearts. Sometimes it is to heal a broken space within a family. And sometimes it is simply to remind people that love still grows, even after difficult seasons. Think about the way a small child changes a room. The moment a baby enters, everything feels different. Voices soften, people smile more, hope quietly returns. This is the mysterious beauty of new life. And as this message reached you today, there is a possibility that your spirit is already sensing this approaching chapter. Maybe you have been feeling more reflective lately. Maybe you have been thinking about the future in a deeper way. Maybe you feel a sudden desire to protect, nurture, or guide someone. These emotions do not appear randomly. Sometimes they are preparing your heart for what is coming next. A baby girl carries a very special kind of symbolism. She represents the continuation of love. She represents patience and gentleness growing in a world that often moves too fast. And she represents a future where kindness still has the power to shape lives. If you feel this message touching your heart right now, pause for a moment. Ask yourself something simple. Could it be that life is preparing you for a blessing you have not fully imagined yet? Many viewers who listen to messages like this often share their experiences in the comments. Some say they started noticing signs weeks before a child entered their life. Others say they had dreams that felt too real to ignore. And some simply felt a deep sense of peace when they heard a message like this. If you feel a similar feeling right now, write this in the comments. I believe new life brings new blessings. Sometimes speaking hope out loud invites it closer. There is another truth that many people forget. When a child enters a life, that moment does not only change the future, it also heals the past. Old worries begin to lose their power. Old disappointments feel smaller. Because suddenly, something more important appears. A reason to smile again. A reason to protect something precious. A reason to believe that tomorrow can be brighter than yesterday. This is why children are often seen as divine gifts. They arrive carrying possibilities that no one else can bring. And a baby girl in particular often carries a quiet strength. A strength that grows through compassion, through empathy, through the ability to connect hearts. One day she may bring wisdom into conversations that once felt cold. She may bring laughter into a home that once felt silent. And she may remind everyone around her that the smallest voices can carry the greatest impact. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Think about your family. Think about the bonds that matter most to you. Sometimes a child arrives exactly when a family needs a new beginning. Exactly when love needs a new place to grow. And exactly when hope needs a new face. You may not know every detail yet, but that is the nature of faith. Faith does not always show the entire road ahead. Sometimes it simply lights the next step. And that step may lead to a moment that changes everything. The Bible reminds us of the beauty of children with a powerful truth. In Psalm it says, "Are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him." This verse carries a deep meaning. It reminds us that life itself is a gift, and every new child represents a blessing that heaven trusts someone to care for. Imagine what it means to be part of a blessing like that. To guide a life, to protect a future, to show a young soul what love, patience, and kindness truly look like. These moments shape not only the child's life, they also shape the hearts of those who raise and support them. Sometimes the greatest transformations happen quietly, through responsibility and love. If a baby girl enters your life soon, she may bring more than joy. She may bring purpose. She may awaken dreams you forgot you had. She may inspire you to become a stronger and wiser version of yourself. Because children often awaken the best parts of who we are meant to be. Now I want to ask you something important. If a baby girl were to enter your life in the near future, what would you wish for her? Peace, protection, a future filled with opportunity? Write your wish in the comments. Your words might inspire someone else who is listening to this message right now. Sometimes a simple comment becomes a message of hope for another person. And hope is something the world always needs more of. Life moves quickly. Years pass. Seasons change. But the moments that involve love, family, and new life remain unforgettable. They become the memories that people carry for the rest of their lives. So if the possibility of a baby girl entering your life feels real to you, welcome that thought with gratitude. Even if the future is not fully clear yet, even if you still have questions, trust that life unfolds with meaning far beyond what we can see today. And now, before we end this message, close your eyes for a moment and reflect on this simple affirmation. May every new life that enters this world be surrounded by protection and love. May every child grow in an environment where kindness guides their steps. May every heart listening to this message remain open to the blessings that are still on their way. And if a baby girl is truly preparing to enter your life, may her arrival bring peace, joy, and a future brighter than you ever imagined. Type in the comments, "I welcome the blessings meant for me," because sometimes the smallest declaration of faith becomes the first step toward a miracle. There is another truth about blessings that many people only understand later in life. Sometimes a blessing begins forming long before anyone around you realizes it. Heaven moves quietly. While people are busy with their routines, while days pass and nothing seems unusual, God can already be preparing something meaningful behind the scenes. And when the moment finally arrives, many people look back and realize that the signs were there all along. Perhaps you have felt something like that recently, a subtle shift in your thoughts, a deeper awareness about family, love, or the future, a quiet feeling that something gentle is about to enter your life. These feelings are not always easy to explain, but the heart often senses change before the mind understands it. The arrival of a baby girl carries a unique kind of meaning. She often represents tenderness, returning to places where life once felt serious and heavy. She represents curiosity, laughter, and small footsteps filling the spaces of everyday life. But even more than that, she represents a reminder that life continues to renew itself. Every generation brings a new chance for kindness, wisdom, and love to grow. And sometimes, a single child becomes the light that inspires many people around her. Think about the influence that one child can have. A child can soften the hardest heart. A child can reunite people who once drifted apart. A child can inspire someone to become more patient, more thoughtful, and more compassionate. This is why many people believe that children are not only born into families, they are entrusted to them. Entrusted with love, entrusted with guidance, entrusted with the hope that they will grow in a world that believes in their potential. And if a baby girl is meant to enter your life soon, there is a reason your spirit may already be sensing it. Maybe you have been thinking more about legacy lately. Maybe you have been reflecting on the values you want to pass to the next generation. Maybe you have started noticing how precious simple moments truly are. These reflections often appear when life is preparing someone for a new responsibility filled with meaning. And the truth is, the world needs more gentle strength. The world needs more compassionate hearts. A young girl raised with love, wisdom, and faith can become a powerful force for goodness in the future. She may grow into someone who inspires others, someone who uplifts people during difficult moments, someone who reminds others that kindness is never wasted. If you feel hope rising inside you while hearing this message, pause for a moment. Place your hand over your heart and allow yourself to imagine the possibility of new life bringing joy into your world. Now I want to invite you to participate in something meaningful. If you believe that new life carries divine purpose, type this phrase in the comments: "Every child is a blessing from heaven." Your words might resonate with someone else who is listening right now and wondering about their own future. Sometimes a shared message of hope creates a powerful connection between strangers who simply believe in something good. There is also something mysterious about the timing of blessings. Many people believe they must have everything perfectly planned before something beautiful can happen. But life rarely works that way. Often the most meaningful moments arrive when life still feels uncertain, when the path ahead is not fully clear, when someone is still learning, still growing, still becoming the person they are meant to be. And that is perfectly okay. Because children do not arrive to meet perfection. They arrive to grow within love, to grow within patience, to grow within families and communities that choose to guide them with care. So if a baby girl enters your life soon, remember something important. You do not need to have every answer. What matters most is the love you are willing to give, the protection you are willing to offer, and the example you are willing to set through your actions every day. Children learn more from what we live than from what we say. They observe how we treat others. They notice how we respond during challenges. They watch how we express gratitude for the small things. And those everyday lessons quietly shape the kind of people they will become. If you ever doubt your ability to guide someone, remember that love itself is a powerful teacher. Patience teaches, kindness teaches, faith teaches, And these qualities are stronger than any perfect plan. Now take a moment to think about the future. Imagine a little girl laughing in the background of your life. Imagine her curiosity as she explores the world. Imagine the way she might ask questions that make everyone around her smile. Those moments may seem small, but years later, they often become the memories that people treasure the most. Moments of innocence, moments of wonder, moments where life feels beautifully simple again. And perhaps the greatest gift a child brings is perspective. They remind adults to slow down, to appreciate ordinary days, to remember that joy can exist in the simplest experiences. A walk outside, a bedtime story, a shared laugh at something unexpected. These are the moments that build the strongest bonds. And one day, that little girl may grow into someone who carries those same values into the world. Someone who spreads compassion. Someone who uplifts others. Someone who becomes a source of strength for people who need encouragement. The Bible reminds us how precious children are with a powerful message in Matthew. It says, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." This verse carries a profound meaning. It reminds us that the innocence and sincerity of children reflect something sacred. Their hearts are open, their faith is simple, their love is pure. And when adults protect and nurture that purity, something beautiful grows not only in the child, but also in the hearts of everyone around them. So if this message reached you today, do not dismiss it too quickly. Consider the possibility that your life may soon welcome a blessing that changes everything in the most gentle way. A blessing that arrives with tiny hands. A blessing that arrives with bright curiosity. A blessing that reminds you that the future is still full of hope. Before we end this message, I want to invite you to share one more thought in the comments. Complete this sentence. A baby girl brings right into the world. Maybe your answer is love. Maybe your answer is peace. Maybe your answer is hope. Your words may inspire someone else who is quietly listening right now. And sometimes inspiration is the very thing a person needs to keep believing in tomorrow. Now take a deep breath. Allow your heart to feel calm, and hold on to this final affirmation. May every child who enters this world be surrounded by love and protection. May every home welcome new life with gratitude and patience. May every heart listening today remain open to the blessings that heaven prepares in silence. And if a baby girl truly is meant to enter your life soon, may her journey be filled with light, wisdom, and endless joy. Trust that the future can still surprise you. And remember this simple truth. Sometimes the greatest miracles begin quietly, long before the world even realizes they have started.